You know how they say that art imitates real life, and then sometimes life imitates art. And that's why we see high school girls on the train with katanas holding a piece of toast in their mouth as they're late for school, and how guys 10 years removed from high school can hit on middle school girls and not be called creeps. Okay, so maybe life doesn't imitate all aspects of art. Well, I mean, unless for that last one, yeah, you're exceptionally wealthy. But apparently, art doesn't even imitate art, if it's translated. My name's Faith, or Moliminous if you want to be all formal about it. It's not like I want you to call me by my first name, Baka. And this is the top 5 or 10, whatever things in anime that only exist in the English dub. Honestly, looking up some of these, I legitimately didn't know them. I feel cheated and lied to by 4Kids Entertainment. I thought you were good, wholesome television. Now I just know you were fake news the whole time. One Piece, it's a massive freaking novel of a story and just as big of an anime. There are volumes upon volumes of it. I mean, I blinked and apparently he's red and has gears, and I'm not sure how he got all these powers from the fact that he's very stretchy, but apparently he's, I don't know, tough enough to go up against Superman. I'm sure that will be a death battle eventually, and I'm sure the comment section will love it. Anyhow, there's like 2 One Piece things in this list, so I'll go ahead and do them like back to back within the same thing. Sanji, the chef, with legs for days that would make Chun-Li and Jinx jealous. He's not actually sucking on an infinite lollipop all throughout the show. I guess he's smoking, but our saviors at 4Kids decided that to show someone smoking in a children's show where they're pirates being glorified who rob and pillage and steal, and also death battles, literal death battles, that would be too much. Smoking is just a little bit too far, right? We don't want to give kids things that are imitatable like violence. Obviously, it's a little bit weird that they're banning smoking. Especially with the craze of vaping that came on later, so it looks like banning the visualization of smoking didn't really save kids from going down the similar path. But, and speaking of vaping, one of the characters that I just thought was like this was called Captain Chaser. Apparently he's been puffing on 2 cigars his entire existence. He just was billowing white smoke, and 4Kids, they just removed the cigars and they just kept the smoke, and I just thought, hey, you know, he had smoke powers. Maybe that's just part of the motif. I actually thought it was really cool. Turns out this guy was, I guess, just cosplaying a fucking chimney, because dying from cancer slowly is for pussies, but doing it at twice the speed makes you a fucking badass. It really looks ridiculous, and I know One Piece designs are always over the top, but the motif of actually smoking just like a bunch of cigarettes, like 1 cigar isn't enough. I gotta really hammer home that I'm a hard ass, but with a heart of gold. So I have to smoke twice, be built like a fucking house, and I have to smoke like a chimney. Number 2, I learned this a while back, so you guys probably know this, but apparently the Shadow games and the Shadow Realm and Yu-Gi-Oh, they weren't like real. The Shadow Realm never existed in the Japanese original dub or in the manga. The original concept for the show, like with Pokemon, was actually a lot darker. I mean, at one point, Yami actually sets a guy on fire for losing a game. So you think the king of games would just peacefully sunset you after you had the audacity to challenge him to a children's card game and lose? No, you don't get sent to the Shadow Realm, you just straight up fucking die. I think there's also some motifs where your soul, your eternal soul, gets trapped inside the Millennium Puzzle itself or something. There's a lot of fucking freaky shit. You know, go figure, the show where this 40-something-year-old pharaoh possesses the body of this middle school boy. You know, there's some weird shit that goes on there. But hey, I can understand why you don't want to show people dying in a children's show. I can also understand why they removed guns from the show. That makes sense, but couldn't they have put at least half the effort they did into coming up with the concept of the Shadow games, into coming up with a concept to replace the fucking guns? Because if you actually watch the show, and this always tripped me out, like, I just, you know, thought anime is fucking weird. It's weird. You know, it's weird. So the finger gun things, maybe that's just a Japanese thing. Maybe the kooky Japanese have a weird thing where they kill people with their pointer fingers. But apparently the show just decided they're just gonna erase the guns, but they're just gonna have people pointing. So that reminds me of a scene, I think Seto Kaiba jumps out of his building into this giant waterfall or whatever, because these guys are pointing at it. I know pointing is rude, but it's not worth killing yourself over. Say what you will about 4Kids, but damn did they give us some hilarious shit to look back on. Number 3, keeping with the motif of guns, One Piece Wacky's weapons are the result of actually coming up with an alternative to replacing weapons, which is weird because One Piece's dub is done by 4Kids, and so is the Yu-Gi-Oh series. So I mean, they could have literally just taken the same kind of concept. Maybe they didn't want to make it as wacky. I don't fucking know. But if they were concerned about realistic depictions of life, they would have left the guns in there. Also, it's a story where a 40-year-old pharaoh is possessing the body of a young boy, and death matches are held with children's card games. Look, I'm not saying that it wouldn't look slightly out of place, but it's not gonna be that fucking crazy to have the same kind of contraptions that they had in One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, can I just point out the fact that these hammer contraption things that replace the guns are infinitely more brutal than a fucking gun itself? Yeah, getting shot is pretty bad, hurts a lot. But being beaten to death by some sort of repeating hammer, that's gotta be more agonizing, right? You have a repeating hammer, like, pointed at this child's head. Like, I get it, a gun pointed to a kid's head, that's fucking scary. But think of like the mentality you have to threaten to beat a child to death with a hammer versus just shooting them. It just seems a little bit more extreme. I'm not sure, maybe I'm weird. Maybe the 4Kids gods were just playing 3D chess. Maybe they weren't actually censoring the show. They just wanted to make it even more fucking brutal. Number 4. As a straight man, I love a good pair of fun bags. Most people who are watching anime do. Sadly, especially for the 4Kids generation like myself, we were having the breasticles removed all throughout that entire era of cartoons. Or at least the lines that separated the boobs, like the cross-section line that just shows that they're two separate entities connected to the chest. That would oftentimes get removed, making them look like this weird Play-Doh mesh of a thing, just like a tumor sticking out of a chest. Like, even guys have clear separation of their pecs, right? But I guess girls, it would be too much. Of course, they kept the same size of the breast. So like in Yu-Gi-Oh! And with Rouge from Sonic X, they still had the sexuality to them. It just looked off. It probably even made you look at it more because it's just weird looking. It looks like a tumor. It looks like something that could be sexy, I guess, if they were fully covered. But number 5. So I guess this was a top 5. I mean, I kind of put like a bunch I put a bunch that could have been separated into one. So I'm kind of cheating myself, but I'll still label this as a top 5. Whatever. This one is something that I didn't know. Naruto's Believe It. If you guys remember watching it on Cartoon Network way back in the day, in the golden age of Cartoon Network, where we had shows like Symbiotic Titan, Ben 10 was just popping off, Naruto was there. I think Class of 3000 was even a show, and that show had some great fucking music. I love the music in that. Andre 3000 did a great job, but Naruto's Believe It isn't in the Japanese dub. That's not a thing. That doesn't happen. It's not a phrase. It doesn't have a translation. It is just kind of there. So that annoying thing that he gets mocked for constantly isn't real. Databayo is essentially like, if you guys really want to understand it, I just recommend watching this video. It's the Naruto singer explains Databayo, what it really means, and it's by the best Japanese lessons in the galaxy. So if you just search that up, you'll probably find it. But It's essentially just like, it's like, I don't know, it's like slang. It's not like talks like this. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's my list. Let me know anything that I might have missed down below, and I love your faces, so I hope you at least like my video. Go ahead, subscribe if you want to. Go ahead and support us on Patreon, like these fine people here, and especially this one here, who I'm going to have send me a way to pronounce their name. Thank you very much. You're awesome. Your donation is very much appreciated, but I don't speak moon roots. And I'll see you guys in the next one.